We were talking before you got here. I know it means something to you when basketball matters in New York. I know that you like the credibility that you have at MSG, that you have
what credibility?
a romance. Well, you like that you butt up against MSG powers that be, and that you are an authentic basketball voice in New York.
I love being from New York City. I love walking around New York City and having people just not even stop in passing, make basketball comments or some stuff about the show and just keep it moving.
Literal street credibility. On the street, people are talking to you.
Starts from the airport all the way in.
But this is the best Knicks team that we have seen in 25 years.
Easily.
Well, they set the bar pretty low. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
This is so the only other team that I think would be in conversation is the Carmelo, Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Jason Kidd. Remember they had just the Expendables and then Carmelo and Amari. That's the last one of note that we can bring up. And then from that, going back on in the past, you got to go all the way back to 2000, really, where Allen Houston and Latrell Sprewell and all those guys. This is the best team since that.
Would you be willing to take the next leap that we were having conversationally before you got here, which is, and all that said, they cannot win the championship?
For the first time in quite a long time, I'm not prepared to go that far.
Wow. Because, I've been a Knicks fan my entire life, and I was telling Dan earlier that as happy as I am with the Knicks being good, they've won 8 straight, they've won 9 of 10, Randall is out, they've still played well.
You take that back!
I'd still be surprised. Just because of the Celtics and the Bucks, I'd be surprised if the Knicks made it to the NBA Finals.
I would say...
Think about this, come on. You can take it back. We'll give you a chance.
And I'll tell you what I'm doing. Jalen Brunson is our best player.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think about him going up against Tatum and Giannis and their best players, and I'm like, how? How?
So this is what I'm going to say. First of all, you're doing the same thing that everyone seems to be doing, and I don't understand why, which is Jalen Brunson doesn't look like a 6'8" guy who has a 40-inch vertical and a sculpted Adonis, so he can't be our best player. You know who they said that about 8 years ago?
Who?
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Oh, your best player can't be that guy. I mean, he's good. He's a nice player. He can't be. He's not Russell Westbrook or James Harden.
You better slow down. You've lost
Steph
your
Curry.
mind.
I'm not saying he's
losing your credibility.
You've lost your mind.
Listen to me.
Look at him. You look like a fool.
Listen to me. I'm not saying he's Steph Curry. I'm saying the thing that people did with Steph Curry, and y'all can all plead ignorant and amnesia now.
Right.
But in 2014-15, people were saying, that can't be your best player.
It sounds like you're saying that he's Steph Curry. That is.
I'm
it
not
sounds like
saying
you're
that.
running around the house with
I'm
a
not-
pickle in your mouth.
Leave the show references to me, please. What I'm saying is basketball, for whatever reason, has a really dumb heuristic of thinking because someone doesn't, quote-unquote, look the part, they can't actually be on this level.
I'm not saying he doesn't look the part. I'm saying their superstar is better than our superstar. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think Jason Tatum
Is better.
Is better.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Do you think Jason Tatum has shown in clutch situations, in crunch time situations, to be unbelievably better?
He's had some moments. He's had some bad moments as well.
Right.
Yes.
That's my thing about Jalen Brunson is he doesn't look like Jason Tatum. And if you described him to me on paper, I'd take Jason Tatum. And even watching, I'd take Jason Tatum. But the gap between Jason Tatum and Jalen Brunson is not as massive as people want to say. Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, Steph, yes. But when you start getting to the Tatums of the world, who's better, but he ain't that much better. And most importantly, what Brunson is doing is within a system and within a complementary group, everybody's on the same page now. I said it for months.
You're all in on Brunson. You are all in.
I've been
You're
all
all
in.
in. You're all in.
all in since last year. I said the Knicks have a civil war between the impulse players and the IQ players. Guess what? All the impulse guys are gone.
Well,
it's all IQ
Randall's
guys.
still there.
But Randall's
He's playing well, man.
He's playing well because he's finally accepting, because you can have an impulse guy surrounded by IQ guys, and his IQ play will increase, and his impulse play will decrease because it's osmosis. Everyone's doing it. When you got half the locker room doing whatever the hell they want on the court, it's like, what? Why should I stop and think about what I'm about to do?
Better, Boston or New York?
Boston's better.
Philadelphia or New York? Milwaukee.
Hold on. Philadelphia, are we counting health? Because this is the other part of this.
That's
it's
important.
It's open in a way because Philly's not healthy.
Porzingis
right?
can get hurt.
Boston, not healthy.
Yeah, but
Milwaukee, healthy. But, hey, like, nobody's writing home about this right now on paper, but they don't play on paper, Dan. On paper, the Cavs were a better team than the Knicks last year. But the Knicks won because they executed and the Cavs didn't. And that's what it comes down to.
But then the Knicks lost to the Heat, and Jalen Brunson didn't have those moments where it was like, albeit he played excellently in that series against Miami. There wasn't a moment where it's like, oh, this is the Jalen Brunson coming out
But
party.
they have fixed complementary players
The
are
IQ
more
is
athletic.
there.
It's not just IQ though; it's also athleticism.
You can talk about it. They were plenty athletic when they lost to the Heat. They were plenty athletic, and the Heat aren't exactly a bunch of greyhounds, right? What they did is they got rid of all the guys that do not think the game. And they got guys like OG Anunoby and obviously Josh Hart from last year and Jalen Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo this year and Isaiah Hartenstein from that. Like, all these guys now, they're all IQ players. They're all guys that are thinking the game.
They are the best defensive team in the NBA. I mean, they are.
That's always what
They
Tibbs
lost.
is going to do.
Well,
But hold on.
I know, but
they lost one of the leading shot blocker and rebounders in the league for the year and got better defensively. There's a part. Look, hey, I love clowning on the Knicks. It's fun. It's funny. Their fans take everything personally, and they've been awful forever. Every team I clown on, I always say the same thing. I'm not breaking the mold here. I'm not calling like the Bucks a trash team or the Nuggets a trash team. I'm calling the Knicks. You guys have been terrible forever. They're not terrible anymore. We got to accept that.
I know, but there's a big difference between they're not terrible anymore and they can win the championship.
They can win the championship in this sense, Dan. Are they? Am I picking them to win the championship? Absolutely not.
Will they even be in your top six?
But Dan,
will they be in your top
Dan,
six?
What I'm saying is, look around the league. Who looks like they got all figured out? They're perfect. They don't need anything. Nobody. Two.
I mean, Boston and
Boston,
Minnesota, the Clippers. They all look.
Nuggets.
They all look. The Nuggets.
Name three reserves for Boston.
Oh, come on.
Al Horford.
One.
I mean, he counts
as three.
I saw the box score last night, and they got all of their points against Indiana from their starting.
That's my
five.
point. Like, so you can't say like Brad Stevens doesn't have his clogging shoes on, sitting up like, I'm good. We got it. We ain't got to do nothing. He's not doing that. He's saying my team isn't deep enough. My team doesn't have enough size. My team doesn't have a guy off the bench, a reliable guy who's not 300 years old. They've got issues. The only team I could honestly say, look, as long as we're healthy, we're good, Denver Nuggets. Ain't no other team in the league that could say, we're good. Every other team is like.
T-Wolves?
Nope, definitely not. Definitely not.
The Clippers?
Clippers, definitely not. They're all looking. Everyone's looking.
How many teams are better than the Knicks? Name them.
How many teams better than the Knicks?
Name them.
The Nuggets?
Boston, Denver, Oklahoma City, although I wouldn't say Oklahoma City can win the championship.
Miami.
You could say that you're going to say the Knicks can win the championship before Oklahoma City can win the championship?
That's right.
I agree.
And I'll explain after the break.
No, you won't.
So the Dan needs a break.
Get